So this happened a couple days ago, and I wanted to just touch on it real quick. So Democrat members of Congress broke into an ICE facility in New Jersey, and the mayor of New York was arrested by DHS. They waited for the buses to open the gates, and they stormed in. Okay, so that's the right-leaning version of this.
So we have some new information from DHS regarding this incident that we've been watching. I know this is sort of a static shot here of these few folks on the other side of this fence, but we want to fill you in on what has been happening in Newark, New Jersey. DHS says, quote, a group of protesters, including...
Hang on a second. Gotta fix this audio here.
2 members of Congress stormed the gate and broke into the ICE detention facility. The members, Robert Menendez Jr. and Bonnie Watson Coleman, and multiple protesters are holed up in a guard shack area, the first security checkpoint. Interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba for the District of New Jersey posting on X that Newark's Democrat mayor, Ras Baraka, was there and, quote, committed trespass. Here he is talking about the facility earlier in the week.
We know what ICE has done in the past. We've seen them. We know how they operate. We know that they have picked people up who have not broken any laws. We know they've deported people and refused to bring them back.
So joining me now by phone.
Deported them and refused to bring them back. I know who he's talking about, and we've went through this ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. It was wrong to violate his withholding of deportation. That was illegal. But he was an illegal. And vice that fucking withholding, he should have been deported. Now, should he have been deported directly to a prison in El Salvador? Probably not. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't have been deported. Just like all the other people he's talking about who ICE has picked up, if you're illegal, you should be deported. Simple as.
Republican New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew.
And like I said earlier, this is one of the reasons why so many people are okay with the rules being broken, is because you keep saying shit like this. Where's your energy for all the people locked up in your state that are innocent, that the police just fucking throw in fucking jail for no reason? Where are all the people who are wrongly convicted? Where's your energy for them? Oh, you don't have it. So when the system breaks in other parts, you don't have the same energy. But because of immigration, oh, now you got it. Now you got it.
We know what ICE has done in the past. We've seen them. We know how they operate. We know that they have picked people up who have not broken any laws. We know they've deported people and refused to bring them back.
So joining me now by phone, Republican New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, good to have you with us. What is your understanding of what happened here and what's going on?
All right, now they're just going to probably talk about a bunch of stupid shit. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is because...
And from DHS,
a lot of rightoids have been making fun of this, calling it an insurrection and all this other stupid shit. It's like whatever, dude. Because, I mean, essentially, it's the interrupting a government function, blah, 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 blah. All the stupid fucking arguments that they made for January 6th being an insurrection, you could literally fucking make for stuff like this, right? And sure, that's fine. I don't really give a fuck. The thing that I want to talk about is the meta level, like, what the fuck is going on and how the fuck are we going to navigate this shit? Because I am so very tired of team play that it's not even funny. Like, I don't want it. I don't want it no more. I'm so fucking tired of it, dude. I'm so fucking tired of it. And I can't say I usually. I always just make fun of it all, because that's really what it boils down to. Is that it's just people using power to get more power and using whatever power they have, right? Like, almost no politician will ever frame anything in an honest way, because if they were honest, then they'd have to admit their own faults and it would make them look weak and all this other stupid shit, and then their opponents would... This is why, like, the thing that bothers me about how politics work with humans and it's because we have so many different biases and there's so many different ways to manipulate individuals that it does allow psychopaths and extremely intelligent people who wish to gain power through manipulation the ability to do so. But what the fuck else are we to do? right? Because it's the same with any other system. It's just this one is more decentralized. And it is one of those things. It's like this kind of thing is only going to play well with his own base, right? This kind of thing. Where'd I put it? There it is, right? This kind of thing is only gonna play well with these people. And the reason I brought this up is because this is gonna be part of it. This right here, they could deny disability. I mean, the requirement for politics involves brain damage, I'm sure. Oh my goodness. I don't necessarily think it requires brain damage, but especially, I mean, I was going to say especially in modern politics, but honestly, dude, if you really look back at the things that people wrote about one another, about how politicians talked about one another, especially in newspapers and in speeches, it's the same shit it is today. They just use more verbose language because only people who were highly educated were in politics, right? Like even Abraham Lincoln, being, you know, an uneducated hick, he literally taught himself to be a lawyer. So he was educated by himself. So this is why a lot of people don't understand that politics has always been this way, right? It's always been this way. Like, think about it like this. One of the reasons why the people in the South, a lot of them still say that the Civil War was the War of Northern Conquest is because that's essentially what it was. Forced reunification and conquest. The states left. The southern states left the Union. And the Union said, no, you don't. Right? And what had to happen to make that happen? Right? Did Lincoln have an overwhelming, you know, support in Congress and all the Union states were behind him? No, this is why he fucking had to arrest journalists and suspend habeas corpus and fucking arrest politicians, is because there were a lot of people in the North and just in general who were in support of who were not in support of the federal government trying to suppress the states' rights of the South, which was forced slavery. Is bad because we end up with Lincolns. So homeschooling is bad because we end up with Lincolns. My man. Well said. Well said. Well said. Don't want tyrants? No homeschools. Got it. Got it. Yes, because I also hate waffles too. Anyway. Look, I got talking about Lincoln again, and I fucking forgot what I was the track I was going. But and so, like I said, it's this kind of thing when it's illegal aliens, when it's people who've already broken our laws, who are getting this much attention, who are getting this much energy. Like, look at this. Like I said, is this mayor going to every prison and making sure that they're treating all their prisoners correctly? No, he's not. Is he making sure they're treating them humanely? No, I doubt it. I don't think he is. He would make news, wouldn't it, if he did all these things for American citizens who are potentially being abused by our system? Oh, but when it's ICE, when it's the federal government doing it, especially because Trump's president, right? This is the kind of thing. It's like, this is all fucking performative. That's all it looks like. Where was this energy? You know, when Biden was president, he was still deporting people. ICE was still doing mostly the same shit, weren't they? And here's where it comes. I do not think a Mexican grandmother who peacefully lived here for 20 years. I want you to think about this. 20 years, a Mexican grandmother lived in the United States as an illegal. Living in the United States illegally for 20 years. No driver's license, but was still driving. No identification of any kind, and drove onto a military base. And made the poor choice of driving without a license. Is this kind of person Trump voters expected to be targeted? This is exactly what I voted for. 20 years to get a green card, to become a citizen. Never did. America is not an economic freeloader zone. The immigrants believe they can come here and game the system while sending money back and enjoying the privilege of American life. No mas. This is exactly what people voted for. Trump used the we're going to go after the criminals because that plays well. And people want the criminals gone more than the 20-year Mexican, than the Mexican grandmother who's been here for 20 years. But if we find the Mexican grandmother that's been living here for fucking 20 years, you're goddamn right she's getting deported. You see what I mean? What the fuck? Undocumented grandmother faces deportation after wrong turn. That's the headline. That's the fucking headline. You wonder why people are so fucking bent out of shape. You wonder why people...
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE!
LA Times. Is it true? Yes. That doesn't make it fucking not fucked up to say it this way. Why do you put in grandmother? Remove grandmother. Undocumented immigrant faces deportation after wrong turn in San Diego. Oh, why do they put grandmother? Sympathy. They want you to feel bad for grandma. Oh, for abuela. Abuela made a wrong turn. What does she know? Oh, you mean she didn't have a driver's license? She drove illegally? I mean, come on now. Come on now. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's one of these things like, what are you doing? Right? She'd been living in the U.S. for 20 years, no driver's license, still driving, no identification of any kind, and drove onto a military base where she was stopped and unable to identify herself. Yes, if you drive onto a military base, you must present ID to get into the base. Simple as. You don't show ID, you turn around. And while you're turning around, men with guns will block your way. So, you know, that's how it works. Don't go onto a military base. Abuela's cookies are terrible. Deport! Yes, yes. It's, and this is the kind of thing when I'm saying about the type of energy you're wasting on these people. This is what you're doing. Yes, these people gamed our system. They came here illegally, seeking a better life, and instead of doing the right thing and trying to immigrate here legally, and trying to get, you know, taking advantage of all these fucking programs and all these sanctuary cities, I'm sure she did. Like, how many of her family are fucking illegal too? Right? Like, how many must we bear? How many must we support? Problems with ICE, just turn up the heat, bro, right? Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Turn up the heat, bro. I gotta remember that one. I'll give you one. That was a good one. So yeah, and the funny thing is that AJ here, Alexander, this guy is not crazy. He's not some fucking, like, you know, Zig Highland fucking Nazi dude. He's pretty fucking straight and narrow. And yeah, this is what a lot of people voted for. So when you hear about Abrego Garcia, this is what they're doing. You know, it's manipulation. You want to push back against Trump violating the order? I do too. But I'm not going to join you in trying to emotionally fucking blackmail the entire goddamn country into accepting your stupid bullshit. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And it boggles my mind how they have, like I said, how they have so much energy for all these illegals, but where's the energy that for universal health care? Where's the energy for all the people who are fucking being detained and held innocently in our prison system? They talk about it a lot, but do they fucking do anything about it? Do they have this kind of energy? Do they break into jails to stop this stuff? No, they don't. And the reason is, and you know the exact reason, it's because almost the vast majority of people in prison who are actually in prison are usually multiple offenders. Dudes don't go to jail because they stole a bike, right? You heard that story, right? Dude stole a bike and he went to jail for 20 years. Well, not actually. He stole a bike that was worth $2,000 because it was an electric bike. So that's a felony. And it was his third felony. And if you look at his rap sheet, he's got like a dozen other misdemeanor type things that he did that were probably felonies but got lowered, you know, to give him a second chance. And then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then a sixth, and then a seventh. And so a lot of people in jail have like gigantic fucking rap sheets, right? Yeah, anyway. So yeah, this is what it boils down to. The American people want this situation taken care of. This is what people voted for. And so if Blue Team were literally just arguing about Trump shouldn't have violated this order, and that's all it were about, then maybe, just maybe, we might be able to get somewhere. But that's not what it's about. Because no matter what he does, this is what they're going to call him. No matter, it doesn't matter. He could literally do the same things Joe Biden was doing. Every bit of it. He could literally do everything Joe Biden was doing. Build Back Better the whole fucking night, and they'd still be doing this. This is why nobody cares when you say it. Because you have equated literally normal deportation to fucking Nazi Germany. So yeah, Trump might be going down in the polls, but guess who's not benefiting? Democrats, that's right. Yeah. Blue Team's not benefiting from Trump going down in the polls. And as funny as it is, if I'm not mistaken, Trump's going down in the polls more on because of the tariff situation than immigration. Let me see if I can maybe find something real quick while I continue to talk. And so because anything anybody says that's not ultra fucking left-wing progressive, you're automatically a Nazi. Normal people see this now. They know the trick. They know the word game. At least for Nazi, at least for racist. This is why you can have people doing openly racist things, and when you call them racist, people don't believe you. When Piers Morgan gets on his fucking show and it screeches and squeals like a fucking Karen about how racist fucking Shiloh fucking white trash bitch who said the N-word was, nobody cares, dude. You look like a whinging nutbag. Clutch your pearls more. Get your fainting couch. Fuck you. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. I certainly don't have the energy to give a single fuck about any of this shit anymore, because they've essentially created an environment that's created these assholes. That's created the next version of the white supremacy movement. Like I've been saying it for fucking years on this stream, that their actions are literally going to make people more race conscious. And when white people become more race conscious, they're going to band together as white people. And white people are the majority. And if I literally have to pick a team that's going to want to, I either have to pick one that's going to oppress and exterminate me, or the other that's really bad, but they're not going to oppress and exterminate me. Which the fuck do you think I'm going to choose? I canceled my Fucksgiving Day parade. Couldn't find one to give. Great. Racism is the new Satanism, isn't it? I mean, sort of. Like, it does exist. You know, there were like for the longest time, you know, Klan and fucking neo-Nazis and all this shit were like on the heavy decline. And because of shit like this, they've only gotten more and more popular, right? Nick Fuentes would have never gone anywhere if he didn't have a demon, an actual demon to fight in these fucking assholes. You do understand that, right? He still would have garnered all the fucking white supremacists and all that shit, but it wouldn't be nearly as big. There wouldn't be nearly as many people going to him for all his stupid fucking shit and all the other people that lead up to him. If you hadn't had fucking, you know, decades of this fucking imbalance. And, you know, at first it was understandable to where, oh, you know, some black dude being fucking mega racist to some white guy. It's not that big of a deal. But the fact that it has been allowed to continue in perpetuity up until this point, you know, after we've done the Civil Rights Act, after we've done all these concessions that America has made to the fact that, yes, the things that we did in the past were bad. Yes, we should uplift these individuals to help them get back, to help them, you know, integrate into society and all this other stuff. all the shit we did was bad and we need to change. And we did change. We did change. And you know what we got? Fucking nothing. We got nothing for it. Right? There's a bunch of black people who are very, very fucking like, oh, America is amazing and America is great. But there are plenty who just shit all over this place because of the shit we did in the past, giving no grace and thanks for the fact that we changed. We became better. We don't get any credit. We don't get any forgiveness, right? So if we don't get any credit, if we don't get any grace, and we don't get any forgiveness, then there's no fucking point of doing any of it, and you're gonna fucking lose a race war. Like, that's the dumbest part about it is that all the people who are on blue team who want a race war will fucking lose it. Because I don't know if you noticed about how many fucking white supremacists these days have brown skin. Like, some of these fucking rallies you go to that are for, you know, that do this shit, it's full of fucking white people. All fucking white people. Maybe like one or two brown people in there. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the fucking Trump rallies are that way. So, fair enough. But it's just like... Anyway. And it really does make me think that some of these people knew that what they were doing were going to create this kind of backlash. And they did it for that exact reason, so that they could take power, so that they could fight the Nazis they created and hopefully win. Because they want America to burn. And if we go back to white solidarity, like White Trash Shiloh asks and says, then we're fucking cooked, bro. We're fucking cooked. Well, maybe not, because, you know, the blue team has said that whiteness is like hard work and sacrifice and all this other stuff. So I guess maybe we could be white supremacist, but still allow other races to be white as well. Right? Because if you work hard, well, I guess you're white then, right? Even if your skin is black, right? That's how it works, right? You work hard, show up on time, you know, can keep a job. That's whiteness, right? And I'm not going to lie, you know, there are people who literally believe exactly that. But that is why they still call the United States of America a white supremacist patriarchy. Possibly one of the dumbest conspiracy theories ever. That like, it's bigger than the Flat Earth Society. That just tells you how pervasive it is and how fucking retarded it is. Yeah, so it looks like, asking Grok what's going on. So Trump is poll from late April, 39 to 46. Disapproval rating often exceeding 50. Washington Post had 39 approval, 55 disapproval. New York Times reported 42 approval with 54 disapproval. Rasmussen polls claimed a 50% approval rating, but is the outlier. Now, normally you would look at this and say, oh yeah, Rasmussen is definitely fucking sucking Trump's dick. However, we got to remember, who was the most accurate pollster over the last for the last two presidential elections? This guy. Doesn't mean they're right, but it does mean that their past predictive power may indeed give them enough clout for this to be believable. White Spirit Unification Club to run for office. That would be hilarious, dude. That would be absolutely hilarious. Oh my God, dude. So yeah, and a lot of it is, so apparently it is both, so apparently I may have been wrong. Immigration policy is now facing growing disapproval. It dropped from 60% in December to 45, 15-point swing. Washington Post polls reported 53 disapproval of immigration handling. Trump's tariff policies are a major, so the tariffs have definitely, his trade stuff has definitely crushed it. So until he gets some big wins, it's probably going to keep going down. Yep. And like I said, one of the reasons that this stuff, deporting the fucking Mexican grandmother, the abuela needs to go back the fuck home. She has a fucking home. It's not in the United States of America. It's in goddamn Mexico. And she needs to go the fuck back there and be with her family. And this is one of the things that really bothers me about immigration is the destructiveness that it has upon the home country where the immigrant comes from. Right? Because even if we allow the poor and the destitute to come over, we're still draining these countries of people who they need for their economy, who they need to work in the factories in their country so that they can actually have some kind of standard of living, so they can work in the government and all these other positions that you need bodies for, that you need people to run, that they can't. Because they'll come here and they'll stay here. Many of them will. Even if they do send money back home to other people, they're still going to be here working in our economy, making our shit better. And they're making their home country worse. And think about the brain drain, because even if you are poor and destitute, you're probably still smarter than the average person from where you come from. Most likely. Especially if you came here of your own volition. Because you had the ability to get the connections, the money, you had the work ethic, and all the stuff that it requires, and the grit to do it all. So so Mexico lost all the benefit of having this woman in their country, right? Of all the community that she would build, of all the, especially if her children are here, all the work that they do, all the family that they build. If they're all here and not in Mexico, then Mexico lost out on that, right? This is not just about them seeking a better life, right? This is also about the fact that if we take the best and the brightest, or even the hard workers from these countries, we leave those countries worse off. And the worst part is not the fact that we're draining these countries of good, hardworking people. The real tragedy is the fact that the governments of these countries have no impetus to get better, because all of the people who would change the government and do a revolution, they came here. Because it's easier to come here than do a revolution in your home country, right? So think about how much better South America, some of these countries in South America would be with the millions of people that are here in the United States of America right now. Think about how much better they would be. How many of them would have better governments, better economies, if those people had stayed there and worked hard like they did here and made the change that they wanted to see? Because if we don't allow them to come here, then they have to stay there and and do something about it. But they don't have to do anything about it. There's no, it's just a pressure relief valve. They just leave and come here, and so nothing changes in their home country. So it still could be a shithole, because all the hardworking and intelligent individuals come here. It's one of the things that's like, yeah, we're just gonna and it's a tragedy, and nobody thinks about that. You feel for these immigrants, and you feel for the brown people. What about all the brown people back where they come from? Right? This hardworking, industrious individual needs to go home and work in their country and make their country better. I want fucking these countries to be better places than they are. But because we keep allowing people to just flee to here, there's no impetus to change it. And so it remains shitty. And instead of helping them influence instead of helping influence them and getting them to, build shit there so that they can, uplift their own people, we just allow them to come here. And these are the fuckos. These are the same fuckos that are doing this to those brown people, are doing shit like this when we're trying to send them back. Do you see how easy it is to flip the frame around?
In the past, we've seen them. We know how they operate. We know that they have picked people up who have not broken any laws. We know they've deported people and refused.
Not broken any laws. Not broken any laws. People get arrested every day, not breaking any laws. And we see them. We see how they operate. We see how they want to destroy these brown countries. Right? All these countries, they want to destroy them. They want to take all the best people from them and bring them here so that they can have a slave class to serve them, to clean their toilets, to pick their fruit. That's what they want. They want an underclass that they can pay under the table and not give good wages, and that way they can be abused by these cartels. There's really no other way around it, considering how much they fucking ignore all of this shit. They ignore the enslavement of these immigrants by the cartels. They ignore the destruction that is being wrought on their home countries because these people aren't in their home countries being the change that needs to happen. My question now is, why are the Democrats so racist they want to destroy all these countries with brown people in them? Why do they want to import all these brown people to be slaves for them? Why is that? Why are they so racist? Why do they like slavery? I don't understand. Will somebody explain it to me? I'm